joining us, we're lucky enough to be joined in the studio by Michael Merrett. Hi, Michael.
Hi there, Finn. How you going?
Very well. Now, tell us, why is it important that transport is accessible?
Well, everybody needs to have accessible, independently accessible public transport as a human right, basically, to be able to get around from A to B. And yeah, it's just one of those things that should be a fundamental human right, and we haven't got it, so here I am.
Indeed you are. What type of things will help to make transport more accessible?
Well, there's lots of different ways to make public transport more independently accessible. What we require now is the state government to start funding now and into the future all these different ways of making public transport independently accessible.
Do we know what some of those ways are, or do we need to, I guess...
Sure, we know lots of different ways, and they've got lots of easy access tram stops and new level access wheelchair ramps for train station platforms. That's just two examples. There's probably many more, but there's no money because the Liberal state government has cut all the funding.
And how are the easy access tram stops and your other example there, are they actually working, or?
Well, there's a few examples. We trialled one out at Box Hill Station with a level access wheelchair ramp last year, and now there's one down at Platform 1 on Phineas Street Station, and there's one out at Newport Station. There's soon to be one on each platform at Platform 5 Flinders Street Station. And they need to be on all 500 platforms throughout Melbourne, and there's no money. And we need money from the government, you know, instead of $10 billion, or not instead of $10 billion for the road tunnel. You know, maybe we need a road tunnel, I don't know, to ease the traffic, but I sure know we need a lot of independently accessible public transport. We're not getting it, and I'm pretty angry about it, actually.
I can sense that. What sort of money are we looking at?
Look, it doesn't really matter how much money it is. It's not for us to worry about. It's for the state government, Ted Baillieu and Terry Mulder, to prioritise independently accessible public transport projects. It has to be done. It has to be done soon. And, you know, something's going to happen that we're going to have to protest or do something to get their attention, because they think that we're not important, and I'm sick of it.
You've started a... So what are you doing to raise awareness?
Well, I'm sitting here talking to you, aren't I?
Well, that's one way, but I believe you've got a Facebook group as well.
Yes, I did start another Facebook group just recently. I'm just trying to remember what I called it, actually.
It's a fairly long name as well.
Yes, well, it's specific in it's like Victorian government needs to spend more money on accessible public transport projects, something along those lines. But anyway, if you look up myself on Facebook, you can see all the groups I've created. And my name is Michael Merrett. It's spelled M-E-R-R-E-T-T. And I'm looking for new Facebook friends who are interested in what I'm interested in talking about today. And
what sort of, is it okay just for the government to say we're committed to this, or do we want some kind of action as well?
Well, they can talk all they want, but I want to see action. You want to see action. We all want to see action, and that means, you know, putting them, you know, the money where their mouth is, kind of thing. And it's no good just having all these policies and disability standards for accessible public transport and, you know, action plans and all this type of thing. It's all just words, rhetoric, you know, and I'm sick of it. And all I see is the action, or inaction, is cutting funding and key people in the Department of Transport, Public Transport Victoria, leaving the department because there's no money there and going and working on road tunnels and things like this. I mean, it's kind of ironic, really, isn't it?
Michael, how long have you been involved in accessible transport campaigns?
Probably since about 2009.
Have you noticed any changes in that time?
There's been progress, that's for sure. I initially started out by campaigning that people with disabilities, wheelchair and scooter users specifically, shouldn't have to pay for transport because we can't use most of it independently. And we came up with the scooter and wheelchair travel pass. That was through the Minister Lynn Koski and a campaign we ran there. And since then, I've gone about trying to make public transport independently accessible through the creation of easy access tram stops, these level access wheelchair ramps. Not that I've done it, but I've talked with the people in charge and got them to do it. But it's a long, slow process. And needs more money.
You've been campaigning for particular spots in Bridge Road in Richmond.
That's correct.
And other areas as well. Have you received any joy with those?
Yeah, for sure. But they're only areas that I'm living near that I can, speak from a real lived experience point of view, because it affects me directly. So I can talk about that. I can't really talk about things that I'm not involved with or areas that I don't live, with so much sort of real experience. And I think if everybody with disabilities in different areas around Melbourne spoke up with their councils, disability advisory committees, and talked to the Department of Transport as well, got involved in campaigns like this, we'd see a lot more action, a lot more around Melbourne and maybe country Victoria as well.
Well, Michael, how would people get in contact with you if they'd like to tell you about their public transport experiences to do with disability and accessibility?
Okay, well, the best way for me to be contacted is basically through Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, sorry, but get on Facebook.
Yeah.
It takes about 5 minutes to sign up. And look me up.
Forget your negativity towards social networking. I think that was someone.
So again, my name on Facebook is Michael Merrett, Merrett. Don't be afraid to get in contact. Thanks.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Michael, and
you're welcome.
All the best with your campaigning. And let's hope we see some. Let's hope we see some action about accessible transport.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I hope so. Thanks.
Now, unfortunately, it's just about time for us to go. But I'd like to thank Daniel, my co-host Daniel, and also our guests Jody, Wilma, and of course Michael Merrett.
Thank you.
It's funny you can't remember the person sitting next to you. Anyway, we're now unfortunately Tully has unfortunately left us. For those regular listeners, they'll know sometimes we were joined by Tully. She's gone to seek other opportunities and do other things. So thanks for your support and work with us over the years. We'll miss you, won't we, Daniel?
Yeah, Peter, and I personally want to thank Tully. It was a pleasure working with you and your wonderful insight into what we could be doing.
Fantastic. All right, well, I think it's just about time we got out of here. Our next show is on September the 19th. Before we do that, we'll leave you with a track, which is
Don't Lose Yourself by Matt McFarlane.
And that is the voice of Michael Smith, who presents Let Your Freak Flag Fly on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. So for all you freaks, get out there and flag. See ya.
Oh, that was fun.
That was great. That was a good show.
You like that one?
There is.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show. You like that?
For a guy who said you're going to have to lead me,
Alright. Once I get going.
Yeah,